All right, it's Monday night. We are live here on this special edition of the Backdoor 3 NBA podcast with our top 15 NBA player rankings. A little special for you. We decided to throw around. News kind of gets boring if you're just reporting news all the time. So let's have a real, genuine conversation. Joining me today to break down these rankings, to give a list of his own, Layton, Tron, Markwood. Layton, how's it going?
It's going well, man. Happy to be here. This is going to be a fun one.
Well, let's
Strap
get right into
on
it.
your thinking caps. Let's go.
So let's give a breakdown how this is going to go. Layton and I compiled separate lists, 15 players each. We're going to go 15 to 11. I'm going to go. Then Layton's going to give his, and then switch from 10 to 6. And then we'll spit back and forth our top 5. So pretty simple. So I'll be started out with number 15. And these are players that you want in the NBA to win right now.
Wait, hold on, Colin.
Yes, sir.
Before you jump into it, let's make a note about injured players.
Okay, I did not include the two people who would probably be on this list, and that would be Kawhi Leonard and Isaiah Thomas. I did not include those two on my list.
I think Rudy Gobert is not – I think he would be considered – he's currently injured.
I did not put any injured people.
Gordon Hayward
Right.
might be considered. He's not going to be a part of this list either.
Okay. So, number 15, starting off this list, Ben Simmons. Technically a rookie, but not really for the Philadelphia 76ers. That's right.
Damn,
Ben
13
Simmons.
games in his career.
13 games into his career. You know, the kid is all right. He's more than all right. He's out there making plays. He is their primary ball handler. Markelle Fultz going down. They got the 6th seed in the East right now at 8-7. I mean, come on. What more do you want? This guy, 6'10", 230, and right now averaging 18 points a game, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, almost 2 steals a game. I like what I'm seeing out of the kid. He is something that they definitely wanted out of him. They wanted somebody that they could trust with the ball in his hands, and him and Embiid in the pick and roll for the next decade. Woo!
Philly looks tough, man. The future of Philly is bright.
The future is looking good for Philadelphia. Now, I only have one Blazer on my list, and he's coming up next. And that's young CJ McCollum, not Damian Lillard. That's right. I'm a bigger fan of CJ McCollum than Damian Lillard. Though Damian Lillard, I love your shoes. They're perfectly priced for an affordable all-star brand. $115, dude. $115 for a good pair of basketball shoes. That's not bad. That's not bad. All right. Adidas doing it right. CJ McCollum, though, 22.5 points a game, 3.9 rebounds, 2.7 assists. The guy, he gets buckets. You know when he gets that open three, it's going in. McCollum is an integral part of this Blazers team. He has been over the last 4 seasons, and he's the perfect running mate to Lillard, who hasn't been the guy as this year. McCollum has kind of become the go-to. Bring me to number 13. Very close to my heart. Is he on a poster behind me? He is on a poster behind me. Right there. That guy. Number 23, Draymond Green. That's right. All the way down to number 13. I know it's a little, Layton's like, wow, it's a little low for you, Colin. I know it's a little low for me, Layton. But Draymond's stats have been nothing to write home about this year. It's still just the player that I'm fighting for here. It's the guy you want on the court in intense situations. There's nobody I'd rather have than Draymond Green when it comes to crunch time. But you're only averaging 10 points a game, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. You know, you're flirting with that triple-double. It seems to me that this season he has been the most to suffer from this disease, which I call KD-itis, where those KD points have to come from somewhere. They're not coming from Steph. They're not coming from Clay. Dre is the one who is now seeing this lack of points. And even with Zaza getting in the mix more with the pick and roll this season. Number 12, DeMar DeRozan.
Ooh.
Out of Toronto. I feel like this guy knows how to win. Like his attitude. Seems like whenever you're talking about Toronto, he's never the issue. I like that. And Toronto has been a team that has been there over late in like the past 5-6 years. I feel like we've been talking about Toronto. It seems like
ever since Lowry got there.
Ever since Lowry got right, it's kind of there was kind of that dead period from when Bosch left for like 2 years, and then everybody was like, "Oh, Toronto wasn't even really talked about with Chris Bosch. It was just the Chris Bosch show, and he was almost essentially Kevin Love in Minnesota, in sense of what he meant to the team. But I like DeRozan. He's a good scorer. He reminds me of Kobe when he scores. If he could get a more consistent three, he could beat Kobe.
That's always a comparison you hear.
Yeah, the way you watch him play, it reminds you of watching Kobe.
That mid-range jumper is just unstoppable.
Now, my 11th pick is going to be controversial. This has nothing to do with the player and how good they are, because when playing can be the best player in the league and has been the best player in the league recently.
Oh my God.
I put one Russell Westbrook at number 11.
Okay. I thought you were actually going somewhere different, but okay.
Russell Westbrook.
Still, this is last year's MVP.
It's last year's MVP, Russell Westbrook. To me, with Oklahoma at 7 and 8. Russ, I understand that you're trying to flirt with your new toys. You got Melo, you got you got Hoodie Melo over there, doing your thing. You got Paul George out there just absolutely balling. And it seems like Russ is taking a back seat. He's 19.9 points a game, 8.2 rebounds, 9.5 assists, and almost 2 steals a game. Filling it up, but not MVP Russell Westbrook, because MVP Russell Westbrook was dropping 28 points a game on top of that. And you would think if Russ was at 28 points a game, they probably wouldn't be 9th in the West. Any arguments with that? Or, sounds pretty sound to me when I look at the rest of my list.
Westbrook is in the year he had last year. He's not even having the year he had 2 years ago. You hit it. What's the saying? You hit the hammer on the nail. When you said he's trying to play with his toys a little bit too much. But also, I feel like he's gotten even more reckless this year. Like, he's just dangerous with the basketball and not in a good way. And he's just, he's never been an elite shooter. He's never going to shoot 50% from the field. He's never going to shoot even 35% from three. But he's flirting with below 40% from the field. That is terrible. That's a terrible field goal percentage for a guy who's supposed to be an MVP.
All right, Layton. Number 15. What's
Number
up?
15. I went with the other Philadelphia young buck. I went with Joel Embiid.
Okay.
This was tough for me because he played 30 games last year and 13, 14 this year.
Averaging 22, 10.
He's just awesome. Holding down the paint defensively. His energy, his presence on the court, anything. He doesn't take he will say anything, whether it's on Twitter, on air, or face-to-face in person. I love
Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead so we don't have to talk about him twice. He's my number 10 player.
You really like him. I really like him, but you really, really like him.
I really, really like him. And I'm taking what he's given me right now, which what you've given me right now is the best center in basketball and exactly what was promised, which is somebody who you can leave at the top, give a little wiggle room, and oh my God, here he comes, because this guy can also drain threes. And you're just like, I don't know, like soon I feel like we're going to have the first team that figures out how to beat the Warriors is going to be the person who puts the most 7-footers on the court at one time. It's going to be like, imagine Porzingis. Imagine the Eastern Conference All-Stars in like 3 years. Just play with me for a second.
It's all sinners.
Okay. The West, you can still start Steph, Clay, Dre, KD, and Russell Westbrook. And then on the East, you could start LeBron, Giannis, Joel Embiid, Kristaps Porzingis, and insert new person who's going to be amazing. But you just have all these 7-footers who are like, yeah, give me the ball. I'll take the ball. We're having a resurgence of the center position, and I love it. Yeah, 14,
right in the middle of point guard and center heaven.
Yes, yeah. It's a nice which makes for the best pick and pop plays, and we're in a real high time for that. Who's 14?
Yeah. So, well, let me just kind of give a little background about how I created my list. This is mostly based off of which, as we mentioned, were like 12 to 15, 2017. So I also based a lot of like past seasons definitely have some input in this, but I tried to work with what we have right now. More so like post All-Star break last year. So that kind of leads me to number 14. Been incredible since All-Star break. Nikola Jokic.
Aha.
Of the Denver Nuggets. That man is a point guard. He's a 7'1" point guard. Is he 7'2"? I don't know. He is an absolute stud. He and Paul are holding down Denver in that 6th seed right now in the West. He's 13th overall in PER. Assist ratio which is the highest in terms of centers. The guy is okay. So 15.6 points, 11.3 boards. The PER, which is player efficiency rating. The guy is a stud, and he can also play a little bit of defense. But he's probably the best playmaking center in the league. It would probably be between him and DeMarcus Cousins.
Which I don't even see Boogie as a creating center, but when he does, he can.
Oh, he's averaging. Boogie and AD are running that offense. And Drew Holiday is just kind of a side chick.
Drew Holiday's been a side chick for years.
But this brings me to 13, who he's having transition. It is none other than do-it-all guard Jimmy Butler. The offense, it's been slow for him. Defensively, he's 2nd or 3rd in the NBA in steals. Kid his past 5 or 6 games start to roll.
Oh, you're really choppy, bud. You're hella robot. It's just your signal. Like you're just really choppy. Can you like send a weaker signal or?
I got full bars over here.
I
really
here
know how to.
Do you see the signal bars up here in the Hangout?
Yeah, but I don't know how to adjust it.
Just click it. And then send it down from like whatever it is to medium or low. Live podcasting.
Good.
Yeah, that's better.
So number 13, I think it's been a slower start, but I think he's going to put it together. And Butler is still an absolute freak on both ends of the
Refrain
court.
from moving too much. When you move, it gets very slow.
Just cut off my camera then.
Okay. I can do that. I tried that. Let's try it again. Okay. Jimmy Butler, roll.
Everything's fine on my end. You're just
I
a
know.
little bit hazy.
I'm not hazy. You're just robo tomo arigato.
Hey, I've got full bars out here. I got high-speed internet.
That's nice. The sentence would have been the same in 2005.
All right.
But yeah, I like Jimmy. I don't have him on my list. Honestly, he I guess I needed a fifth spot for my who didn't make it, and I guess Jimmy should have been on that list. Honestly, I think I just want to see a little more leadership out of him. Like, I feel like the team could kind of be wrestled back a little bit. They need to find a more consistent flow, because until they realize that Karl Anthony Towns is the main show.
Well, I think they already know. I think Jimmy Butler is a leader. Why would he be a leader in Minnesota? In terms of just being a player, I think Butler's a top 15 guy. This guy, rejuvenation of the center position in the NBA today, and that would be the Latvian, the unicorn. Yes.
Yeah, he was on my list, and then I looked and forgot about Westbrook. So Porzingis did not make the cut. I need the Knicks to be a little bit better, because right now you're just Kevin Love to me. But you're just Kevin Love. Like, you're just Kevin Love in Minnesota.
3 for him right now, and answer is not good, and they
it's
are
gonna be
in
another
playoff
year 3 of
right
not.
now.
They're not gonna make the playoffs.
They're right there.
I mean, do you think this sustains for the whole season? Really? Not just him, but everybody around him.
Heat are okay. Like the teams that are outside right now.
Indiana, Orlando, Miami, Charlotte. Everybody is within 2 games.
I don't think Orlando's going to be there.
Charlotte is probably the only realistic one where I look at him and and maybe Indiana. If Indiana has some pieces to turn it around. Yeah, you're right. Willie Hernan Gomez, Dougie Buckets.
Charlotte, I don't know. I don't know what to think about them, because they might be the most disappointing team in basketball the last 2 seasons. Good top 5 seed in the East. They won 36 last year, and they're 6-9 this year, with essentially the same roster plus Malik Monk
And Dwight Howard, right?
And Dwight Howard, who I don't think
it doesn't fit.
I haven't heard anything.
Honestly, the only reason he's there is because the head coach was his assistant coach at Orlando and the Lakers. The only reason he's there.
Send Dwight back to Orlando. But
for real, that'd be sick. Yeah, that'd be awesome. That might be the best thing to do. Trade Mo Spates is a better fit on the Hornets than Dwight Howard.
Well, in that case, should the Hornets just start playing Frank the Tank more?
He's in a good bit in the second and third quarters.
Yeah.
All right. Who's next?
And I kept putting him in, taking him out, putting him in, taking him out. George right now is number 11. Down season. But I really put a lot of factor into us 1/8 of the way into the season. Oklahoma City's going to turn around, and with that will be Paul George turning heels. Team. The efficiency is going to come.
Hey, bud, I haven't heard like anything you've said. Your audio is still really choppy, and my aunt that's watching says it's coming through really choppy too. I'm just trying to figure out what to do to fix it.
I don't know what we're gonna do because
how are your
nothing's different than
I know
20 podcasts we done.
All right, I'm gonna log you out and call you back in. I'm going to eject Layton from this video. All right, live podcasting. Da, da, da. We are turning it off and turning it back on again. See how this works. Hope this works. Oh, there. He was here. Now he's gone. There he is. All right, there you go. How's it going? All good?
Yeah, except there's like 8 calls coming in. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what's
bad.
going on.
I just kept sending it. All right. So, were you saying Paul George?
Still being rung in. Is I don't know what to do.
Just hit end call. Or don't answer it. It's still saying that I'm calling you?
Yeah, and all I'm hearing is...
All right, just accept the call then, I guess.
Whew, I think we're good now.
Okay. All right. Let's keep rolling.
Paul George. Let's just move on.
Okay. So my number 10, I already talked about him, Embiid. Let's roll in number 9, Anthony Davis. Do it all. If you want something done, give it to AD. And if AD can't do it, you give it to Boogie. They're doing everything, like you said, Drew Holiday is that side chick. The only thing this team's missing is a time machine to get Eric Gordon back on the team, because I'd really like this team a lot more if Eric Gordon was still on the team. But AD still doing it. Double-double machine. Gets it done no matter how it needs to be done. This team also should continue putting in the petition to be put into the Eastern Conference, because I don't know if you've ever been to New Orleans, but it's not in the West. Sorry, slight
Well,
rant.
maybe they should make a middle conference then, because they'd fit in perfectly.
Yeah, maybe. Number 8, Karl Anthony Towns. These unicorns, man. I got nothing for the unicorns, except I don't know how these guys do it with the size that they have, but God bless them. And they make basketball way more fun to watch, because usually you're like, oh, there's no way this big guy's going to make oh my God, he made the shot. Like, you're like, oh man, yeah, I'm just going to leave the 7-footer out on the perimeter. No, you shouldn't, because he just drained his 4th 3 of the game. Karl Anthony Towns will just go off on streaks where he's like, yep, got it. Got you 12 points real quick. All good. Number 7, Boogie Cousins. Oogie Boogie. Give me some Boogie.
I have Boogie at 7 as well.
Give me some Boogie, baby, because Boogie brings it. Boogie brings it all. Boogie is it. Like, you want a center in the NBA? Boogie is the center. Kids, if you're 6'11", 275, watch Boogie tape. Watch that Kings Boogie tape. The Kings Boogie was a nasty man, but the only problem was he didn't have anybody to be just as nasty, and now he does. So hopefully they can figure it out in New Orleans, because they need. I feel like they're one piece away from really getting it done, like really getting it done. Like, I feel like they should have gone harder on the Eric Bledsoe move, make a Kentucky All-Star type team. Number 6, we've made it. Number 6, Kyrie Irving. Give me some Kyrie.
I'm gonna throw up, dude.
You're
That
gonna
is
throw up? Are you
disgusting.
kidding me? They're the best team in basketball. He's the best team on the best team. He's the best player on the best team in basketball right now.
Not in my top 15.
Not in your top 15. That is so insulting, dude.
Not in my top
Oh.
15. You can't jump from like maybe the 30th best player last year to being in the top 15.
Yes, you can. Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons.
Well, Ben didn't play, so he doesn't count. And
Okay.
Joel, when he played, 15 conversation.
All right. Well,
But Kyrie,
so
think,
you're saying that a player can fall from being a top 10 player to a top 30 player, but can't make the rise back up to it because this man did beat the Warriors.
I think you're putting too much into the team success than what he's actually doing as a player.
I don't think so.
He's been impressive, and the fact that he can actually not be the worst defender in the NBA is impressive. But he's still a one-sided player to me.
Okay, I mean, I don't disagree with you.
Even if you just look at PER, he's like 30th right now.
I don't disagree with you, but I like what he's doing. He looks great. You said eye test. I love the eye test. When I watch Kyrie, he passes it with flying colors. Layton, give me your number 10.
Number 10. I think you had him 8th or whatever. Ranked here. You're right. The guy can do it all. And this is year 3 for Cat. I can't wait for year 10 because
what's basketball even gonna look like?
The floor. The point guard by then. I don't know. Number 9. Talk about a fall from grace. Russell Westbrook.
Okay, so I had 11. You had him 9. I feel a lot better about that. Okay.
Yeah. On my rough draft, I had him at 7, and then I really dug deep into the stats and realized how inefficient of a player he was this year. Still kind of pushing it, but it was more so of the player that he has been rather than the player he currently is through these 13, 14 games. Number 8, crack your top 15. Hopefully we'll be in your shout-out list. Washington's leader, its soul, and a top 3-point guard in this league, John Wall.
You're absolutely
the guy
disgusting.
Is okay. The numbers have he still has very solid numbers this year.
He can't shoot. I don't trust him with the ball. I'd more trust Bradley Beal with the ball. If you wanted to put Bradley Beal in your top 15, I'd have been fine. I would have been absolutely fine with you putting Bradley Beal in your top 15.
Bradley Beal's on the cusp, but John Wall, his game, what he does in transition and his passing, and the fact that if the other team goes on transition, John Wall is flying down and he's going to block your shot. Have a clear path to the basket when you're playing the Wizards because John Wall will come out of nowhere and he is blocking the ball at every day I see a new John Wall block where he's just flying out of.
Okay, when we make our combined list, I'll give you a 15. Put John Wall at number 15.
Do I think I rated him a little higher than I probably should have? Yes, but I think this is more
Russell Westbrook.
I think he's better than Russell Westbrook. Westbrook is the most inefficient, amazing player in basketball.
That's true. All right, who you got
the
next?
ball, and he doesn't get that Westbrook gets, which is frustrating.
Yeah,
but let's move on. Like you, I have Boogie. Say no more. Number 6, your boy, Steph Curry.
Okay. I got him at number 5, so let's just go ahead and talk about this because then I bring him up next. He's just doing it.
He's unbelievable this year.
He's just doing it. It's there's never going to be the question anymore, will Steph Curry ever slow down? No. The answer is if you let Steph Curry play and you let Steph Curry shoot, Steph Curry is going to shoot. His the way he plays basketball is not John Wall, Derrick Rose wear and tear style of basketball. Like Steph Curry is going to play basketball longer than John Wall. Like
Steph Curry is going to be 43 and still
exactly. He's going to be drilling like Ray Allen type shots. Like he'll be on the Celtics or something. No, he'll be on like the Hornets, like playoff run. The playoffs are making a run. The Hornets are making a run in the playoffs in like 15 years. And Steph Curry's like, yeah, I'll come back out. Busts out the 30 Curry jersey from his dad in the rafters, puts it on. Yeah, I see it. See it all.
Other than obviously injuries, I think the only way Steph doesn't play like past 40 and on how many more rings the Warriors end up getting.
At least 3 in the next 5 years. There's no way. As long as they have those 4, at least 3 more rings.
Like if he has 7 rings when he's 35, like is he really going to be playing? Like I don't think LeBron is going to get to 7, overtaking MJ. Like is he really going to keep playing after 7 rings?
Here's an interesting question: who's on the Warriors longer, Steph Curry or Kevin Durant?
I'm going to have to say Steph Curry.
Okay.
Well, what was Durant's extension? 2 years? Like he's on their team for 2 more seasons?
Right. Yeah.
I could see Durant leaving, especially if they win.
If they keep winning, I think California opened a whole world to him. Like the way he's on YouTube right now, putting up YouTube videos like 2 times a week. He's getting all into investments and tech companies and stuff. And unless he's moving just down to LA, which I really don't see happening. I mean, everybody's got a house in LA now if you're an NBA player, but whatever.
Might be right. But if Draymond or
I think it's also just who I expect to play longer at this current state, because I could see both of them staying with the Warriors forever and then both having their own farewell seasons. You see what I'm saying?
Steph's older than KD, isn't he?
Yeah, by a year, I think. By a year or 2. I think KD's 27 and Steph's 28, 29.
Yeah, because it really took Steph a couple years to really find himself, and he was battling injuries and everything.
It took that playoff series loss to the Clippers a few years back.
That was a sweep, right?
4 or 5 years. No, the Warriors won
Mark
1 game.
Jackson got canned.
Yeah. And then Mark Jackson gets canned. God, and then they savagely put him in the booth on the first game of the season. And man, ESPN, I always felt bad. Like
I was blown away when they fired Mark Jackson because they were not a very good team the year before.
It's basically the Rams.
Yeah.
Mark Jackson is essentially Jeff Fisher. He's like, dude, what are you doing? You had all of this here, and you're just doing the wrong things. You make it work. Whatever. All right, so my 5 was Steph. Who's your 5?
Going with James Harden.
Whoa! Okay. Yep, this is where the list gets weird.
Did you not put Harden in your 15?
He's my number 1 player.
Ooh!
How?
Dude, I wanted to
put Harden. Saucing. He don't miss nothing.
Damn, I thought you were going to be a real Harden hater.
No, dude.
Wow.
Like absence of Chris Paul stepped it up, and what we thought last year was just an anomaly of him being able to rack up the assists, rack up the rebounds. He's like, nah, y'all, I got this. 31.6 points a game, almost 10 assists, 9.9 assists a game, 8.6 rebound. Come on, what more do you want? This man is the MVP right now.
And look what he's done to Clint Capella. Like he's got Capella playing like an all-star.
Yes. Finally, Clint Capella having found some form of meaning in Houston, because
you just pull up like the ESPN NBA stats, and Capella's on 3 different lists in the top 5.
It helps.
Rebounds, field goal percentage, and PER.
It helps when the Harden volume of shooting. I mean, if every one of Harden's shots went in, he'd be averaging like 60 points a game. So he's probably, being on Harden's team means a lot of rebounds can be coming your way. So my number 4, Kevin Durant, 33 blocks in this season. I'm loving it, averaging 25 points a game. KD's just doing it all. This Warriors team is compiled so that him and Steph can just shoot, do your thing. And when Steph miss it, or when Steph's moving back in transition, KD's getting the rebound, bringing the ball up the field or bringing the ball to the court, and everything just seems to work for this Warriors team in transition. Talk about the Wizards in transition. Boy, they wish they could be the Warriors in transition. The Warriors in transition are amazing. The threats that you have on that court that you have to think about. If you're an opposing team, is there another team in basketball that you have to think more about who's on the court than the Warriors, Layton?
I don't even think you need to think because it's just like everybody can shoot. So
right. So it's limit your
get your ass on everybody.
Yeah. Basically. So
it just doesn't work. It's not that easy.
Right. So who you got a 4?
4, I think you had him in your top 10, but I'm going Anthony Davis here.
Yeah, I got him at number 9.
AD, he's a freak this year. I mean, he's almost draining 40% of his threes.
Yeah,
he's only going to keep getting
nasty.
better. And I think he's the fact that he's playing with Boogie Cousins. If this was just the AD show, his numbers would be even crazier.
He'd probably be 35 and 19.
Yeah. All right, they're both still jacking up 20 shots a game.
I just think Boogie's better. That's the only reason. I just think Boogie's a better player, to be completely honest. In terms of full set of skills for what they're being asked to do, Boogie is going above and beyond any center in the game right now in terms of what it means to play your position. But I can't argue with Anthony Davis. I can't argue with it.
Yeah. I think I value defense a little bit more on my list.
A little bit.
Is why you see James Harden at 5 and John Wall at 8 and guys like Jimmy Butler and Paul George in there.
Okay. So my number 3, LeBron James. Got LeBron at 3. That's all I have to say.
Okay. At this point, our top 3
I want everybody to know that's listening to this that is out of respect.
Okay,
because there's 2 dudes balling out ahead of him.
Well, that leads to my number 3, which is the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Okay.
Who
is my number 2. So let's just talk about it.
I mean, currently, if we're talking MVP race, it's between Harden and Giannis.
Correct.
Edge because his team is. If they're not number 1 in the West, they're half a game behind them. So
right. They're tied.
Yeah. Giannis is insane, absolutely insane.
There's no words. The guy does everything. He does it with a sense of ease. He makes basketball
In
look
fact,
easy.
I'm about to pull up the stream on the sidebar because the Wizards and Bucks just tipped off.
Awesome. But I love what I'm seeing out of Giannis in terms of how he's evolved his game from last year to this year. And especially the addition of Eric Bledsoe is going to make it so he gets the ball in his hands in better situations. Just makes for a more productive player. It's going to get better. If you don't know Giannis Antetokounmpo, look him up. Greek freak. That's all you need to know.
I honestly don't think there's a soul out there who doesn't know who Giannis is anymore.
There's probably 2 people listening to this podcast who don't know. So my number 2 was Giannis. So who's your number 2?
My number 2 is Kevin Durant. Like you said, the dude is blocking everything. Did I what?
Did you put LeBron James at number 1?
Yes. He's having the best season of his career.
On the worst. Oh, my God. I can't even.
They're fine. They've won 4 straight. They're going to win 30 more straight. They're fine. I'm not even slightly worried about Cleveland. This is about players, not teams, Colin.
I know.
Having the best season of his career at age, I don't even know. What is he, 33, 34?
Yeah.
He leads the NBA in minutes.
And you think that's going to help? He doesn't need to be leading the NBA in minutes.
He's a robot. Just plug him in and charge him up, and he'll be good to go.
He's going to need an oil change. He's going to need his week off in Miami again. He's going to need something. Something's going to happen. LeBron is going to happen, and we're going to have a week's full of stories about it, and people argue it. I just can't wait. Something's going to happen.
Well,
LeBron is
Isaiah comes back. LeBron is going to
be a candidate. There's dirt there. How has he gotten this far without something happening? I don't understand.
He was created in a lab. He is not a human being.
He's unreal. Even a movie about 17-year-old LeBron was good.
He's shooting 40% from 3. This is LeBron James we're talking about.
It's absolutely disgusting. I understand. But Giannis and Harden are on 2 better teams.
I can't believe you put him at number 3. I
How?
can because
what do you want from me? I can't put him in.
You know what this tells
This
me?
wasn't 3 years ago.
The NBA is at an all-time talent high right now.
There has never been more parity in the NBA. I love it.
I'm looking at my bubble players.
Yeah, I would take
in the top
Clay.
15.
I would take Clay. I would take Kemba. I would take Andre Drummond, and I would take Damian Lillard. Those are my 4.
Even Hassan Whiteside, LaMarcus Aldridge, Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal.
I almost put Aldridge at 15 because it feels bad to not have the best player on any San Antonio Spurs team in your top 15, especially when they're a top 5 team in the West right now.
Barely slow to beat without Kawhi, and it's because LaMarcus is playing at the height of his career right now. And I remember when news broke when he signed that extension, and we both kind of hit each other up what's up with this?
Right.
And now look at him. Well, Greg, Pop, type of player he had in Aldridge.
He knew what he was getting. He knew what he was buying, and eventually it came through and worked itself out. Pop, it'd be a little hard on you, but, LaMarcus, he came around. He did the smart thing. He wasn't a baby about it. He didn't ask to get traded. He didn't feel like it wasn't working. He wrote it out, and now it's working for him. Good for him.
Kind of surprising that it took a little over 2 seasons, but looks like
I'm surprisingly not surprised. You would think
that's a lot of basketball,
It's a lot of basketball, but also it's a lot of change. But it's a lot of change too, having to go in and be coming from the system in Portland, being the dude, then Lillard coming in, not being the dude, being even less of a dude with CJ McCollum coming in and then leaving. You end up at the Spurs, Kawhi's always in and out. Everything's always kind of be shifting for him, and now he's kind of had this whole season of them running the same thing consistently, and he feels comfortable for the first time. So I feel like that,
kind of Chris Bosh-esque.
Yeah. Okay. If you're like Chris Bosh in Miami trying to figure out what he is.
Yeah.
Because Chris Bosh in that third finals was definitely better than Chris Bosh in that first finals, for sure.
Chris Bosh in that third finals was like a top 20 NBA player.
That's where the Balasha Raptor came from.
Yeah.
Well, we did it. We ranked our boys. We're gonna do a whole
similar list, actually.
Yeah, pretty similar list once you get to the top 5. Ordering, rankings. We have respect for the same players. Like we said before, the talent in the NBA right now is just at an all-time high. Point guards are doing crazy things you've never seen point guards do. Forwards are holding the ball, not holding the ball, but moving the ball and spreading the ball like we've never seen before. And centers are just out here destroying people like we haven't seen since Mutombo, Hakeem the Dream, You know, I mean, these are like, this is a new generation of stars. If Embiid, if Boogie, if Andre Drummond, you know, we have the ability for these centers to just take over. And newsflash, the kids that are coming in from college and are coming in college next couple of years are going to be just as big and just as freakish with what they can do. So this trend of being tall and being multifaceted in what you can do and using your height to your advantage on offense really sets up the NBA nicely to combat this Warriors type basketball of run and gun. You know, maybe we're going to find a way to slow the NBA down, Layton.
Yeah, I think the only thing I'll say is that even if we get a top 20 listing, I know today's NBA is kind of getting past, you know, actually putting you in a single position. Like if you look at the standard point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power, but only 3 shooting guards I even considered putting in my top 20, nonetheless top 15.
Right. No, it's
Beal,
James Harden,
DeRozan. Well, Harden.
You got to put Klay Thompson in there, dude.
It was Thompson, DeRozan, and Beal were the 3 guys.
Minus Harden.
Yeah, because Harden I'm still counting as a point guard.
Okay.
And he'll stay that way until Chris Paul comes back.
True. Well, sometime this week, you'll get part 2 of this rankings where we look towards the future. Some of these names may also still be on the list. Maybe. Probably. Most likely, because some of these guys are under 24. And if you're under 24 in the NBA and on this list, you have an exciting life ahead of you.
Yeah. I would say it's probably not going to be this week, though, because it is.
Yeah, we got Thanksgiving, the holidays. So probably look forward to that sometime next week. So I'd like to thank everybody that joined us on this show. Anybody who listens to this in the future, hello, future people. Hit the like button right here. Hit the subscribe button if you don't do it. If you don't do it, you're I don't know what you're doing. It's a fagoozy. It's a fagazi. It's a woozy. I don't know. Layton, thank you for joining me. It's always a pleasure breaking down the world of what we care about, basketball. And shout out to Oregon for getting the 2018 #1 recruiting class, signing Ball. Ball, BOL. You're on YouTube right now. Type in Ball in the search bar and have fun.
And that's BOL. Yeah,
BOL.
Speaking of Oregon, though, we're going to jump into the college football real quick. Did you see they copied the turnover chain?
Yeah, it was really ugly.
It was like they bought it at Dollar General.
Yep. It was like somebody went on like Craigslist and was like, really nice Oregon chain.
Yeah.
$8.
So Oregon football,
OBO.
Just don't watch them. Turn them off. Throw them in the dumpster. They're gone. It's
hashtag over. Protest Oregon football. You heard it here first. Over there on the other side is Layton Markwood. Find him on Twitter at LAYTON Mark Wood. And you can find me, Colin Morris, at _C Morris on Twitter. Layton, see you when I see you. And everybody else.
And
yes.
I appreciate everyone going through the little technical difficulties we had a little
sorry
bit.
about that. We're trying to figure it out.
But I
have fiber lines into our houses and spotless internet. But you look great now. So.
And like holograms, so we could actually do like an in-studio podcast instead of.
All right, we'll have green screens, and we'll actually be you'll be like right here.
Instead of being, I think we're like 650 miles apart right now or something like that. But so that's why it's a little hard to.
Feels like a million miles, Layton. Feels like.
Oh man. But happy Thanksgiving, everybody! Enjoy your holidays. Enjoy your beans, greens, tomatoes, potatoes, and all the rest of that. If you don't know that, YouTube that song as well.
Enjoy your Thanksgiving, everybody. This has been the Backdoor 3 signing off.
Oh,
that's right. I'm Batman.